Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Wakey Wakey. I'm taking advantage of the key location of Chiang Mai to meet tons and tons of people that are living their life differently, their way, and I'm using this as an advantage to fuel my Live Your Life Your Way series that I hope you are enjoying and that it's inspiring you. I was at a digital Nomad summit yesterday, so all of these people settled here in Chiang Mai, living a free location, entrepreneurial lifestyle, shared all these experiences of how they were successful and how they took their business to the next level. It was very, very interesting and very inspiring. There's going to be a lot of people that I'm going to interview in the next 2 weeks. I hope you're going to enjoy it. The first person in this series is Larissa. Larissa is South African. She's been living in Chiang Mai for a few months and she has become an independent free location worker, entrepreneur, and she is going to talk about her drop shipping business here in Chiang Mai. So stay tuned and enjoy the interview, guys.
This is on, cool, and this is on. Cool. Okay. Hi, Marissa.
Hi.
So thanks for meeting me.
It's only a pleasure. Thank you for asking me.
So this is the next series of Wakey Wakey, living your life your way.
I like it.
And tell me a bit about yourself. What you were doing before, living in Thailand, and
So my name's Larissa and I'm South African. So before I moved to Thailand, Chiang Mai, I've always been in South Africa, in Johannesburg. I was born and raised there. And after school I studied psychology and I combined it with studies in fashion design. And then I ended up working at a shoe company, a local shoe company in South Africa, and which I always thought was my dream, was to work in the fashion industry. I was like, I've made it, I'm working in a shoe company, I'm a shoe addict, and I've got a good job, and I'm gonna be happy. And unfortunately, after a year of working in the company, I could feel like this isn't everything I've always dreamt of. It's very busy and I was traveling a lot for work, which wasn't always that as fun as girls assume it's going to be when they work in a fashion company. They think, oh, I'm going to travel a lot, it's going to be so much fun. But it became very overwhelming and I was still very young. I was 24 at the time. And I just decided I need a change of pace and I need to make changes in my life and really think long term of what's going to make me happy and what do I want to do in 10 years from now. Where do I want to go with my life? Am I going to be satisfied living this way, living a rush life? And I decided to move to Chiang Mai to become an English teacher, because that was the one thing I saw a lot of girls were doing, is moving abroad to teach English. And I thought that was an easy way for me to live somewhere else and still make enough money to get by. So I knew I wasn't going to become wealthy becoming an English teacher, but it was a temporary setup. I was like, oh, I'm going to teach English for a year and go back to South Africa.
okay, so what did you do next?
So the initial I actually met my current boyfriend here in Chiang Mai.
Yeah.
It's Johnny. Yep.
Yeah.
And he works online. And the first time I ever heard someone saying I work online, I was like, that must be doing something dodgy. Like, what are they doing? Like, are they doing porn or something? Because I just never knew that there was this big community working online, like, you know. And so he told me he has an online store. And eventually we decided that it's going to be in my best interest and in our relationship's best interest if I stop teaching and start working online as well. But the transition process is a little bit harder than just saying, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to start working online, because you obviously need to figure out what you want to do online. So my first job I ever found online was like through Odesk. You know what Odesk is, right?
Yeah.
And
maybe you could just tell us quickly
so
what it is.
Odesk is like a freelance, you can find freelance work, writing gigs on Odesk. And I found a job writing a tour guide, a tour article of Chiang Mai, things to do in Chiang Mai, which was perfect because I'm living here and it was easy for me to write. And I got paid like $50, which is nothing.
Yeah.
But I felt so amazing because it was the first time I ever did something online and made money without it being something dodgy.
So it made you feel good?
It made me feel good. But at the same time, once again, it wasn't really sustainable. Or it's hard finding online writing gigs. I think the competition's very hard. And then eventually we decided, myself and my boyfriend, that we're going to start another online store. So I'm going to learn the process with him. And I actually did a course, a dropshipping course. That's what I do now, is a dropshipping store. I did a course that teaches you the techniques and it trains you on how would you start a dropshipping store, and it takes you from the beginning to the end.
Okay, what is the name of that course?
I think it's called the Anton Method.
The what?
Anton Method. I don't know, like Johnny always says the Anton Method, but it's the guy's
Anton
name.
Method.
The guy's name's Anton Crowley, and he has a dropshipping course online, and I think it's like $1,000, but it's
$1,000.
But it's probably the best investment you can make, because it really trains you from the mindset of what you need to have to the most basic things, from how to do logos and things, but to phoning suppliers. How are you going to actually get things to sell?
Okay.
So it shows you from beginning to end.
I think I've heard about it.
Big support, a community, like a support group online as well. So when you buy the course, you get access to this group of people who's done it before, and they help you like through the process. So now I can finally say I have an online store.
Okay, so
I'll cut that out.
Drop shipping.
Drop shipping. Oh my god, that was hard. So just a sentence or two to explain what that is.
So drop shipping basically means that you have a store, but you don't keep the inventory, and you ship the product directly from the manufacturer, the supplier, to the customer. So I don't get, if we are drop shipping, like let's say my watch, I never purchase the watch beforehand and keep it in a warehouse.
A warehouse, yeah.
I ask the manufacturer, you keep it, and as I order, you just send it directly to my customer. And there's tons of benefits to that. Like, first of all, you don't need a warehouse, you don't need upfront cash to buy all this inventory, because you are paying per item as you get an order.
Okay.
So the customer pays me, and I pay my supplier, and they drop ship directly. So I don't have to deal with the product.
That's brilliant.
So there's a lot of benefits to doing it.
Okay.
Cool. Larissa, you're a digital nomad. Could you tell me a few words about your lifestyle? What is it like here in Chiang Mai?
So I know what a lot of people think when they hear digital nomad, they think like they hardly ever work, but especially now, because it's the beginning phases of starting up a new store online, we really do put in quite a bit of work. But the nice thing is I can choose when we want to do it. So if I want to sleep in tomorrow morning and I want to only get up at 2 and I want to work till 10 tomorrow night, I can. And if I want to take off the next day, you can as well. And your schedule is very flexible. However, my personality doesn't work like that. I still enjoy having kind of structure. So for me personally, I do go into a co-working space from Monday to Friday, and I go work with other entrepreneurs, and so you are surrounded by people who are working and you feel motivated. So Monday to Friday I have a normal, I would say 9 to 4 job, and then I take my weekends off completely. And then the nice part is it's flexible, so if we decide we want to go on holiday next week, we can just pack up and take the business with us. And that's the benefit, that's like the major part.
So lifestyle
quite flexible. You work in co-working spaces, and it's very easy to travel and take your work with you, which is quite delightful, quite nice. Excellent. And you want to say a word about the digital nomad community here in Chiang Mai? How does it help you?
Oh my gosh. So, first of all, so supportive and so open-minded. I've never come across... Usually in a normal business setting, people are very competitive. Like, even people who work in the same company, it's always about competing for the next position that's opening up. So people don't really want to help each other out. But the digital nomad community is completely different. They are always willing to give, because they know that you are going to exchange information as well. So we are always constantly learning from one another. They're so supportive. And I've never made friends so quickly as I do now. Like, it's so easy because people are open and honest about their journeys. They're not like, I want to say, like, there's no more being like too materialistic and things, because I know for myself, when I was living in South Africa, I got a lot of my happiness from buying a new car and buying new shoes and buying all those things that the glam life. But now we get like enjoyment from going to a lake over a weekend with friends, or going rock climbing, or doing things that actually makes you happy. And like, actually, I feel like a lot more content with the way I live my life now.
Okay.
And last question for Wakey Wakey. How long do you see yourself living like this?
I definitely see myself living a traditional life in the sense of getting married and having kids and starting family and things like that. But I don't see why I can't do that in this lifestyle. So I would want to incorporate the traditional model into this lifestyle. So I don't see this lifestyle changing anytime soon. I still see myself like settling down and choosing one place as a home base. They say, for example, Chiang Mai. So Chiang Mai would be our home base, but then we could still travel. We can still go wherever we want, and we can do it with kids, or we can do it. You know, I think a lot of people feel that they have to choose. I have to choose if I want to have a family, and you know, especially for women, I think we feel like we need to choose. We're not going to be able to get married and have kids if we want to live this lifestyle. But you don't have to choose. You can have it all. So
You can have it all.
Yep, you can have it all.
Last question. No, it's not a question. Yeah, it is a question. What would you tell someone who's hesitating to live this lifestyle, to take that leap, who's hesitating with that leap?
I think building up your confidence slowly to see that these things work by, like, for example, finding small gigs online that pays. Builds up your confidence, showing that you can do it.
Okay.
And then I would secondly say, start. I know this is hard because you actually have to take that leap and get into it, but surround yourself by a community who thinks the same way you do. And the only way by doing that is kind of by packing up and moving to a place where there are quite a few nomads. But there's so many forums online, there's so many blogs online that talks about popular destinations. And reach out to these people, like go on Facebook. I promise you, if you send one of them a Facebook message saying, I see you live in Chiang Mai and that you are a digital nomad, I'm considering going there, what do you think? They're going to respond and they're going to help you. So I would just say, like, just take the initial step, because once you get in it, it's going to become so much easier.
Okay, cool. Larissa, thank you very much.
That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed what Larissa had to tell us, and I hope it will inspire you. She gave you a good advice in the end, which is just take small steps and look for that community. That's a good first step, in my opinion. And I want to thank you, Larissa, for sharing all of these tips to my audience and the Wakey Wakey audience, and I wish you all the best for the future. Stay tuned for future interviews on Wakey Wakey on how to live your life your way. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up at the bottom of the YouTube video, and please feel free, and don't feel free, I would like you to subscribe to my channel to grow the audience, and make sure you stay tuned with future videos and future goodies that are going to come your way on Wakey Wakey TV. Thank you so much, guys. Stay tuned and Wakey Wakey.